4-mile time run that I've been doing for the past 8 weeks or longer. I thought I never would have saw myself failing runs, because I failed one before pool comp, past pool comp, failed another one after pool comp, which is a major milestone in the second phase. And then I ended up getting rolled back into another class. But post pool comp, so I didn't have to do that all over again.
For you civilian types, pool comp is a major hurdle in BUDS, which is SEAL training. And basically, long story short, it's scuba diving. You're with open circuit tanks, and you have to go under, and basically what happens is you get the shit beat out of you and you can't breathe, and you have to go through all these procedures before you can resurface and get air. Did you have to do that over again?
No. Thank God.
No, that's
Thank God. That was a tough evolution.
Yeah.
Too. That was probably one of the toughest I did in BUDS, if not the toughest. But I luckily got to be able to roll back post that. So I classed up with another class, and then finished BUDS with that class.
No more hang-ups?
No more hang-ups. Actually came back stronger and healthier. And I wasn't even rolled back for that long, month and a half.
Okay.
So not very long. But I came back stronger and healthier.
Yeah.
So I just focused on, I trained, I rehabbed my body. Because I still felt a little broken down too after Hell Week, first phase. But so maybe that was a blessing in disguise, I don't know. But I was still ashamed of myself. Like, I didn't want to fail and then see my class pass me up, which is a shitty feeling too.
So you graduate BUDS, you go to STT, and then just doing the research, I already know you became a medic. You went to 18 Delta course, correct?
Yeah.
In Fort Bragg. That's a hard thing to do because that's a long course. And so the guys that you were in BUDS with are already at the team. Some of them are already going off to war, and you're still in the schoolhouse.
Yeah.
How was that?
That was definitely, being a corpsman already, right when I got my bird, they just immediately pointed at me like, hey, you're going to 18 Delta. Mm-hmm. Or SOCM, which is the Special Operations Combat Medic, the short course of the 18 Delta. It's 6 months. Still a very long course. And yeah, I was kind of like taken back. I was like, okay, not really knowing what the hell that was really. And still, I was a little irritated because I was eager to go to the team and start working and get out of the student kind of mindset and actually show up to the team and start doing the job and training with the other team guys. But I took it on the chin, said, let's go. And I went, but we'll get into it. But it was the best course I've ever attended in my entire career.
Really? Yeah. Just backtracking just a second. Get through BUDS. I mean, I know how influential your dad was in your life. And he originally gave you that pamphlet, which was the initial idea of you becoming a Navy SEAL. At the end of SQT, which is SEAL qualification training, when you got your trident, how good did that feel, knowing that your dad, I mean, he must have been so
that was
proud.
An incredible feeling. I mean, not only for me, I know for him, he was there, so was the rest of my family.
He got to see?
He did, yeah.
You get pinned?
He did, yeah, he was there.
That's
so
awesome.
It was really cool to have him there, and the rest of my family as well, mom's sister. So that was unbelievable. Best feeling I ever had, best feeling of my life, number one moment in my life up to this point. So, and everything coming to fruition after all those kind of steps leading up to this point, and now it's actually coming true, was great. And I knew it was great for him too, because he could just see the result.
That must have been really cool.
Yeah.
So you're at 18 Delta School. You're a little bit pissed off because the boys are at the team already. You're in the schoolhouse, an Army schoolhouse nonetheless, which is always kind of a pain in the ass for to do the cross thing with other branches. And I know how frustrating that must have been. But looking back now that you know the medic is probably the most important job on the team, would you have changed anything?
No. Like I said, I became passionate about medicine. Like, that's where I fell in love with it there at the school. Even after core school, I didn't know shit about it. I mean, they just teach you bare bones. And then actually deep dive into this course, I developed a love for it and a passion for it, and I enjoyed every minute of it. And it definitely, I do not regret it, because it paid dividends throughout my entire career. Everywhere you go, you need a medic. Every op, you need a medic. And there I was, the guy that's the medic, because there's not many medics, far few in between the platoons, because no one wants to go, because it's too long, too hard. But being at Bragg, where the schoolhouse is located, Army base, massive, and it's Joint Command, so a bunch of different units, majority Army, but there's a bunch. Navy guys definitely stood out, and we're under the microscope for sure. And it really important to me to perform, because I didn't want to be, I've heard horror stories at that point, like I didn't want to be the team guy showing up to the platoon saying he failed 18 Delta. Just straight up turd. That's the first impression. I don't want to be that guy. They're expecting you to be a medic and show up here. And as soon as you do that, you're screwing over the platoon, essentially. And you just look bad as a SEAL and as a man. So I definitely didn't want that. I wanted to crush it.
How did you do in that course? I mean, that's got to be one of the most academically challenging courses in the military, going through 18 Delta. I mean, it's so much information condensed into 6-7 months.
Yeah, it was the most challenging course academically. I ended up surprising myself. I ended up graduating that course as honor man in my class.
No shit.
Which I kind of blew myself away doing that, because I never graduated honor man anything before that.
Yeah.
But after graduating that class, finished honor man, because leading up to that point, like I said, I was passionate about it. I loved doing it. I wanted to be a good medic, because it was important to me. It was damn near like being in college. Even I never had college experience up to that point, but it was like being in college. I was in the books 24/7, 7 days a week, learning the shit in and out. Especially in the first 3 months, first half of the course. The second half is when you actually get to do the real stuff, the live tissue training, surgical skills, TCCC. So it was a gut check for sure for me. But again, and part of the motivation was too, I wanted to outdo the Army.
Yeah.
Because up before that, it's always like some Army guy getting honor man or outdoing the Navy guys, because there was only like 6 of us. So I took it upon myself. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna show them what SEALs are all about. We need to dominate here, because we're such under the microscope all the time.
That's always a pain in the ass doing any type of school with a different branch, because of that competitiveness or what's the word I'm looking for?
You're under the microscope as other units, and there's the pissing contest between the two.
Yeah, pissing match
with all the branches. And they see you, especially if there's only a few of you. We always hung out together, and then when we're in ranks every morning there, we're all segregated, and there's only a little small unit of us. And I mean, all this staff there hated the Navy guys.
It never goes smoothly, that's for fucking sure.
Yeah.
But you graduated honor man, which is kind of funny considering you were a subpar student in high school. You're only a couple years older now in 18 Delta school, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And you graduate honor man. That's fucking impressive.
Yeah, I was 21 when I finished.
No shit.
Yeah, I turned 21 while I was there at the end.
So you graduate 18 Delta, you're a combat medic, you're showing up to SEAL Team
4.
You show up to SEAL Team 4. I mean, that's a lot of schooling and preparation for a kid to go through. You're finally at SEAL Team 4, 21 years old. What was that like?
Yeah, that was a long time coming. I mean, towards the end of that, once I graduated, the schoolhouse even asked me, like, you got honor man? Just since you got honor man, we want to offer you to stay longer. Like, hey, you want to stay for the additional 7 months and be here for over a year to do the long course. They call it the long course. And at the time, I was like, no. I was like, I want to go to the team.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how hungry I was at that point. I was ready.
Yeah.
Ready to finally be there and do the job. I was prepared. I knew medicine to be a good medic, and I was ready just to actually to be a SEAL. Because when you're at SOCM, the med school, all you are is inundated with medicine. You're not learning anything SEALs, operators at all. It's just 100% medicine.
Okay.
Which it has to be that way to make you a good medic. So you get removed a little bit.
Yeah.
So I was so eager to go to a team and just start operating. Like I wanted to be a SEAL. So I was ready. I was ready to get after it.
What was it like walking in the platoon hut that first time? I mean, I know you showed up to SEAL Team 4. I know you jumped in a platoon that was coming back from war. And here you are, green, probably overly motivated, as most new guys are.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys are coming home from, was it Iraq?
Yeah, I was going to one troop. These dudes were in Iraq. And they were just on like their last month of being there, about to be coming home.
And they were getting it over there.
Yeah. And majority of those guys have already been there 2 times, some 3.
So was that intimidating for you?
Very intimidating, because I was at the time, only me and the couple other new guys were the only ones going into one troop, which was the CENTCOM troop. The guys that were going to war.
So you knew as soon as you showed up, you
Yes.
were going to war.
I was going to one troop, Iraq, which is responsible for the AO CENTCOM. So I knew inevitably I was going to go to Iraq. That was kind of in the back of our mind. They didn't say for sure at that time when I first checked in, but I knew I was going to one troop.
It's happening.
It's happening. That's where I'll be going in the future. And definitely nerve-wracking. I was just super intimidated to even go into SEAL Team 4. And then let alone like going to the platoon space, which is like sacred territory for the old guys. You know? So definitely nervous, especially when they got there, when they started trickling in. And then, because when I first showed up, it was like we got our gear, we just got a locker, quarterdeck watch, new guy duties, just new guy stuff all the time. So not really much of anything until they actually showed up. And then they start showing up, and then we actually get to see them. These dudes are war veterans, man. These guys have been there, done that, and we're just over here, just new and green.
Yeah.
Not knowing shit. Just keep my mouth shut.
I imagine then they probably weren't the most welcoming bunch of guys.
Yeah. Definitely not. Not at first. No, they didn't all show up at once. They kind of just all half came in and half, and they all trickled in. They all went on leave pretty much almost immediately when they got back. But yeah, once they saw us, it was just like blood in the water.
So did you get to do a full train up before you went out the door, or?
Yeah, I did. Full workup.
A full workup.
Yeah.
That's workup's about a workup is a year and a half.
About a year and a half, yeah.
So you did a year and a half train up on top of all the training you just did to get out the door. How long do you think it took to gain the respect of your peers, your new teammates that you're getting ready to go to war with, who they've already been to war? I mean, it
took a while.
You got to man the fuck up and prove yourself to these guys to blend, to get accepted.
It was like showing buds, but I'm showing to the team as a new guy. Everyone's done what you've done and more.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's like prove yourself all over again. So that whole stress was again happening, and it was just every single day, just putting out, make sure I'm right place, right time, right kit. I'm always performing, trying to outdo even the new guys.
Yeah.
Trying to stand out, just prove myself I'm worthy. And I don't think it was until damn near deployment that we're pretty much got respect, like, hey, okay, full workup.
I like how you just said that you showed up and at the same time, you're feeling on top of the world because you just got your trident, you're a SEAL,